Hey,
if you want a
I saw
picture,
him like give you a little. Was that like a donation earlier?
Yeah.
Could I give you one, man? This is like super dope. Like especially like looking at this now, I was psyched to see what the drawing of Hayden looked like. Anything I hear you talking about, I'm like, you are the man for this job.
Yo, what's good? We at the park again. I had this crazy idea where I wanted to practice drawing portraits in person, but then I had the idea of what if I had this huge board. As people walk by, I basically asked them if they want to get their portrait drawn. Now the challenge it is how much time people have. I think reasonably, if I can get someone to sit down for maybe 15 to 30 minutes, those are probably the best drawings I can do. However, this is going to really challenge me in being able to draw fast. If I only get like 5 or so minutes to draw, I'm going to have to really move fast. And I was really just focusing on features and kind of just try to simplify things. So this is a huge exercise when it comes to simplification and overall gesture and speed. Good. So I'm an art student and I'm just here about the ball. Basically, I'm just drawing portraits from life, and I just wondered if you have maybe like 10, 15, 20 minutes to get your portrait done completely free. So far, no good.
And after a couple more rejections, this happened.
Excuse me, ma'am. You guys have maybe 10 or 15 minutes to try to get your portrait done. It's completely free. All I'm here for is just the practice of it. If you guys have to, if it's not, it's fine, but thank you, sir. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What's your name?
So the first woman really only had about 10 minutes to spare, and since this was my very first sketch of the day, I needed time to warm up as well, so this one really put pressure on me. After the 10 minutes was up, I kind of felt bad because the figure or the portrait actually looked more like a man, and this was a woman. I really didn't have much time to actually soften up a lot of her features within that 10 minutes, so overall it was a learning experience, and it was the first drawing of the day, so I just had to brush that one off and keep it pushing.
But the hardest part was like the angle I was sitting in, because it was like a top down, and then I was also twisting and turning that in my mind, where it's more so like a front facing thing. So it wasn't completely like true to what I was actually seeing. So I got to get a little bit more true to what I was seeing. It's a lot. It's clearly as much as I can do in about 10 minutes. This is also just me going straight in. Maybe I could try to spend maybe 2 or so minutes trying to just plot things out in my head. Then I can get a better representation.
15? Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. What's your name? Michelle Amon.
That's our favorite city. We love Chicago. We're always in Chicago. Yes, ma'am. Yes, everywhere. After this sketching conversation, I felt warmed up and more relaxed, motivated to get more people in the chair and try to capture their likeness. But then 30 seconds into my next sketch, mentally, I realized that this exercise already began to evolve. It was no longer about sketching random people. The value of this exercise was in the human connections through conversation. And conversations were definitely had, deep and personal ones.
I got tired of people abusing me emotionally. Not physically, because I whooped their ass, but emotionally.
The plan I had originally dissolved, and I just went with the natural flow of the drawing. Observing, conversing, and drawing, all at once. I used the downtime to reflect on technique, but it was no longer a priority.
Yeah, this one definitely was hard because she was moving, she was talking, so I had to make sure I was twisting and turning things while she was going. But that's definitely part of the process. But
the reactions I was receiving and the conversations mattered more than the outcome. But yeah, he's definitely my favorite. It's probably
What it looks like, you know, it looks like
Thank you.
Looks so good. Hey, if you want a picture, like give you a little. Was that like a donation? donation earlier.
Yeah.
Can I give you one, man? This is like super dope. Like especially like looking at this now, I was psyched to see what the drawing of paper looked like.
Donations aside, I most enjoyed how engaged and interested people were in my mind and my process.
If I pour water down her arm and it'll go down this way, that's the direction I shade it. If it's curved, it'll do a slight curve around the arm. You gotta really pay attention to those curves.
And until I really have something in mind that I want to put like actual effort into painting, I just stick to watercolor because it's cheap and it's fast.
And how you have faith that you'll be able to get to his like level and skill. Is that something that you've kind of had since the beginning, or do you think those like feelings of like I could stand eye to eye with like a particular artist?
Okay, I kind of had that confidence in the beginning. It is a pretty spiritual thing as well, where it's just you in the moment and figuring out how you actually see things, and then you really start questioning things like what is reality. If it's an interest of yours, especially follow that interest. Because you never know. Because if I never started this 3 years ago and kept telling myself that I'd never be able to draw, I wouldn't really be at this point now. I didn't actually fill the entire board with portraits, but I did decide to come back a day later and sketch the art museum that I drew in front of. This was actually pretty challenging both technically and physically, but I got it done. I hope you enjoyed this session. Subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching. Deuces.